prior to after, obviously. But now that I understand how difficult he is to deal with, there's no one else like him. You can't prepare for him, even at
his age,
even at an elder version of him.
It was pretty cool to see, and honestly, even with the majority draw, it's a win for Manny, because damn, if he can do that off a 3-year layoff at 46, that's pretty telling for one, where the sport of boxing is when a world champ can't beat 46-year-old politician Manny Pacquiao.
Retirement because this guy is so bad. Like, that fired him up a little bit, and then he goes in the ring and he does nothing. He goes in the ring and, like, I thought it was an embarrassing performance from a 30-year-old champion.
Think about the overall matchup? Everything, man. I watched him train like last week or the week before, and amazing to see him still move and bounce and do all the same things that he was doing in camp years ago when I was with him. So he's still locked in. He's still him, Crazy, but he is. You know what they say, man. The last thing to go is that power.
Chris Algieri, who once fought Pacquiao when both were at their peak, offers a rare insight. He says Manny is something special, a fighter who seems untouched by time. While most boxers slow down with age, Pacquiao is still a mystery that younger fighters struggle with. Algieri says he's unpredictable, fast, explosive, and hard to prepare for. He believes age doesn't matter in Manny's case, because his skills and mindset are on another level. For Algieri, Pacquiao's return isn't just real, it's dangerous.
Prior to after, obviously. But now that I understand how difficult he is to deal with, there's no one else like him. You can't prepare for him, even at
his age,
even at an elder version of him.
In his fight with Mario Barrios, Pacquiao amazed fans by showing that his trademark style is still alive. At 46, people expected an old legend trying to relive past glory. Instead, they saw fast footwork, sharp combos, and smart angles, everything that once made him feared. Even rounds he didn't win were close. His timing, movement, and stamina looked great. Barrios, expected to control the fight, was often just reacting. Pacquiao wasn't just showing up, he was competing at a top level.
I think Manny's always been good at that. And my son really pointed it out perfectly. He was still good at it. He was still good at it. I think he was stealing some rounds at the end. Whether he deserved them or he didn't deserve them, whatever. They were close rounds. He might have stole them on the judges' cards. What we shouldn't forget is he's a special guy, and he put a special performance. I never saw calves on the legs of somebody that big. I mean, it's incredible. I thought early on he stumbled a little bit. I thought his legs were stumbling a little bit, like you might see in a 46-year-old. A little bit. But at the end, they got the act together. He used them pretty good. He used them pretty damn good. What I think he also did was maybe a little bit of, I think the word illusion is too powerful, but I'd say a little misleading, where he threw those real fast punches like my son said. They weren't quality punches like they used to be, where there was real impact and real power at the end of them. They were more like just quick punches. And they weren't all being impactful. They weren't all landing clean. Some did, but they weren't all landing clean. And they definitely weren't landing with real power. They really weren't.
Fighter and media personality Salt. Poppy shared a bold opinion about a possible rematch between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. He said Manny still looks sharp, focused, and ready, unlike Mayweather, who hasn't faced serious competition. In years, Salt Poppy believes that if they fought again, it would be very different from their 2015 fight. Manny's speed, rhythm, and hunger could now outmatch Mayweather's slower reflexes. While Floyd has stayed safe with exhibitions, Pacquiao's true comeback makes him the bigger threat today.
Spoken to Manny recently? I know you're friends with him.
No, I haven't spoken to him, no.
What would you want to see him do next?
fight Floyd Mayweather or Gervonta Tank.
You think he beats Tank, a prime, near prime Tank Davis?
Like, we'll see. Like, styles make fights, so we just don't know.
What about Mayweather versus Pacquiao too?
Yeah, that'll be a good fight. Yeah, like Manny is still active. So.
Okay.
Pacquiao's fight against Barrios was a clear reminder of his special talent. Every time Barrios tried to land something, Manny answered with fast, powerful shots. His energy, footwork, and activity were miles ahead of Barrios, who often looked hesitant. Fans and analysts were surprised by how young Pacquiao still looked in the ring. His footwork created openings and kept Barrios off balance. Many questioned the result, saying Manny's aggressive style and high punch count outshone Barrios' few counters. He didn't just look good, he looked elite.
That's not what happened. Barrios was so tentative in this fight. He was essentially staying for some of the exchanges. Manny Pacquiao came out and did what Manny. Credit to Manny. At 46, he still had some feet. He was moving, dancing on Mario Barrios. He was throwing, just going forward on Mario Barrios. And when he wasn't doing, countering Mario Barrios, who looked like a stick in the mud. He looked like he couldn't even get out of first gear because Manny was hitting with combinations. Were they hurting super bad? Maybe not. Some of them definitely were. Had a mouse under the eye of Mario Barrios, but others were just flurries, and they were keeping Barrios at bay. And when Barrios was throwing one, Pacquiao was throwing three. When Barrios would throw out his jab, Manny would counter with his lead right hand, stepping on the inside plane, doing all the old Manny shit. It was pretty cool to see. And honestly, even with the majority draw, it's a win for Manny because, damn, if he can do that off a 3-year layoff at 46, that's pretty telling for one, where the sport of boxing is when your world champ can't beat 46-year-old politician Manny Pacquiao. But two, just how great he was. 8 division world champion, started his career at 106, I think, comes up to 147. What are we talking about?
Some people doubt Manny's reasons for coming back, suggesting he's doing it for money. With everything he's already achieved, world titles in 8 divisions and global fame, he has nothing left to prove. He could easily stay retired. But his decision to return has raised questions. Critics say the risks are too high at his age, especially with the physical demands of boxing. They argue that no title or legacy is worth the danger unless there's a big payday involved.
Manny Pacquiao crazy for coming back and fighting is because they don't understand what's going on in Manny Pacquiao's life. When a fighter is 46 years old, he doesn't just come back to fight a top fighter because he just wants to fight a top fighter. When he's going through that, that's what's brought him to that place in the first place. And that is having what we call bandwidth extension. He's totally scattered his brain and lost so much money over the course of time. And the same thing that happens when you get a paycheck and you start spending, and because you get shiny object syndrome, you want to get the new watch, you want to get the new gear, you want to eat at the restaurant, you want to go spend money. That's shiny object syndrome. And you can't get it under control the same way that Manny Pacquiao did. He couldn't get things under control. So therein lies the situation where all of that money that he's made, hundreds of millions of dollars, just burnt. And now you got to fight. But if you really stop focusing on the symptom and start concentrating on the root of this thing, and the root of this thing is bandwidth, shiny object syndrome, trying to be so relevant in so many different scenarios. You want to train. You want to run this other business. You want to do this. You got this great idea. And it all boils down to the term that I use all the time, and that's compensatory control, laser focus. Get one idea, follow through with that idea. You got to have a plan in order to do it. And that's how you get to from here to here. That's when you're 46, you don't have to fight anymore. And that is my message today. Just understand why you're scattered. Understand why you can't get anything going all the way through. You can never finish that thought process and execute the plan. And therefore, you continue to find yourself in a situation where you're desperate. You're trying to find a way to get back to where you were, which is even. But if you stay locked in and concentrate on the compensatory control factor of your life, which is doing everything that you think of every single day the exact same way, and I take 1 minute and go to that playlist